Tangerine, and Tangerine once again. What's up, 23% Nation? This is your man, Coach D. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with fruit of the day, the one and only tangerine. So, maybe you think it's an orange. Maybe you think it's a mandarin. Maybe you think it's some hybrid of a grapefruit. Well, whatever the case may be, please listen and watch on. Why? Because we're about to dive just a little deeper into the wonderful world of the tangerine. All right, first up, a little bit of background information. The tangerine is a type of citrus fruit that is closely related to the orange, lemon, lime, and grapefruit. Although the tangerine tree was first grown and cultivated in Florida in the 1800s, the fruit is named after the city of Tangier because it was imported through Monaco. So, for those of us who are wondering what in the world does Tangier, Monaco look like, well, take a look at the picture. Notice the buildings, notice the water, notice the ships in the water. Beautiful. All right, now it's time for a few fun facts. In the United States, the term tangerine is often used interchangeably with mandarin. However, the two are actually different types of fruit, and tangerines are technically considered a specific variety of mandarin. Also, tangerines are confused with clementines as well. The key difference between a tangerine versus clementine is that while tangerines are a variety of mandarin oranges, clementines are actually a hybrid of mandarins and sweet oranges. Now, for those of us who are wondering what are some of the physical differences between clementines, mandarins, and tangerines, well, as you can see, physically, there's not much of a difference. However, when it comes to their taste and their nutrient content, therein lie the differences. All right, fun facts continue. Believe it or not, there are several distinct types of tangerines available. Some of the common types include Pixie, Dancy, Cara, Algerian, Wilking, Encore, Canal, Satsuma, and Honey. So there we have it, guys. More fun facts about the one and only tangerine. All right, it's time for the not so fun facts. In moderation, tangerines can be enjoyed as part of a healthy, balanced diet. However, there are several side effects that need to be considered as well. For starters, tangerines are highly acidic and could cause tooth enamel to erode over time. According to one study out of South Africa, consuming high amounts of citrus fruits could also be linked to a higher risk of developing cavities. Wow. So there we have it, guys, the not so fun facts about the one and only tangerine. All right, it's time to talk about the 520 rule. Ladies and gentlemen, the 520 rule is basically all about food labels. Really, it helps us understand how to read and understand food labels. Ultimately, it's a guide. It's a guide that lets us know whether a food or beverage item is a good source or not a good source of any particular nutrient. Now, when we talk about the 520 rule, we're really talking about percent daily value, abbreviated percent DV. Now, let's take a look at our sample food label. As you can see, it is divided into three colored parts. We have the lavender portion, the yellow portion, and the blue portion. We'll go portion by portion. First up, let's talk about the percent daily value column, the lavender portion. Now, as you can see, percent DVs are basically percentages that can range from as low as 0% to as high as 100%. Now, there are some cases where the percent DV may be above 100%. However, that is quite rare. Now, let's focus on the yellow portion. The yellow portion of our food label basically highlights the nutrients that unfortunately cause a lot of harm, sickness, illness, and disease to the human body. So, say hello to saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, and sodium. Now, because these nutrients do a really good job at promoting disease within the body temple, you definitely want these nutrients to be as close to 0% as possible. Lastly, when we talk about the blue portion of our sample food label, we're talking about dietary fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, and iron, which basically represent all vitamins and minerals. Now, these blue nutrients do just the opposite of the yellow nutrients. Rather than promote disease, sickness, and illness, well, they promote health, they promote wellness within the body temple. So when it comes to percent DV, you definitely want to make sure that these percentages are as close to 100% as possible. Now, let's be a little more specific. If a food or beverage item offers anywhere from 0% to 9% DV of any particular nutrient, then that food or beverage item is not a good source of that particular nutrient. Next, if the food or beverage item offers 10% to 19% DV of any nutrient, then that food or beverage item is considered a good source of that particular nutrient. Lastly, if the food or beverage item offers 20% DV or greater, then that food or beverage item is considered an excellent source of that particular nutrient. So there we have it, guys, the ins and outs about the 5-20 rule. All right, let's now talk about the nutrition facts of tangerines. So for today's lecture, we're going to simply say that a single serving of a tangerine is equivalent to one medium tangerine. So here's what happens when you eat that medium tangerine. You're only going to get about 47 calories, about 12 grams of carbohydrates. Look at this, 1 gram of protein. Now, a lot of people think that fruits don't have any protein. Well, time to bust that myth. Next up, 0.5 grams of fat, 1.5 grams of dietary fiber. Amazing. Now, let's talk about vitamins and minerals. First up is vitamin C, coming in at 26% DV, excellent source. Copper, coming in at only 4% DV, not a good source. Vitamin B6, 4% DV, not a good source. Then we have thiamine and folate, each coming in at only 4% DV, not a good source. Next up is potassium, coming in at 3% DV, not a good source. Then we have vitamin A, coming in at 3% DV, not a good source. Then we have riboflavin, calcium, and magnesium, all coming in at 3% DV respectively. So unfortunately, a medium tangerine is not a good source of riboflavin, calcium, and magnesium. So there we have it, guys. The nutrition facts about the one and only tangerine. All right, now it's time to dive into the health benefits of tangerines. But before we do, I want to very quickly talk with you about the principle of cause and effect. Now, some of us may already be familiar with this principle. Why? Because it's one of these 7 hermetic principles, and it simply states that every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. There really is no such thing as chance and or luck. In other words, everything happens for a reason. So, if you want to be healthy, you have to cause it. If you want to be unhealthy, well, believe it or not, you're going to cause that too. Now, in ancient times, there was a physician. His name happened to be Hippocrates, and he simply said, let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food. So for today's health benefits, not only do I want to state the effect, but I also want to give you the cause, right? So the first effect is that tangerines support the immune function, which is amazing. So what is the cause? Well, say hello to vitamin C. Next effect is that tangerines are high in antioxidants. Now, if you've been following Coach D, you already are familiar with antioxidants. Basically, antioxidants are chemicals that help to deactivate free radicals. Now, here's the good thing. Tangerines have lots of antioxidants. So let's talk about them one by one. Now, excuse me if I mispronounce any of these words. First up is naringin. Then we have naringinin. And then we have nobiletin, and then we have narirudin, hesperidin, and vitamin C. Also, tangerines promote regularity. Now, what's responsible for this? Well, good old fiber. Also, tangerines protect against kidney stones. Amazing. And lastly, tangerines enhance heart health. Now, the causes are the antioxidants, the fiber, the vitamin C, and the flavonoids. So there we have it, guys. Lots and lots of health benefits from the one and only tangerine. All right, now it's time to talk about food. Now, guys, normally our go-to website for everything vegan is forksoverknives.com. But for today, I thought I'd switch it up just a little bit and introduce you to a brand new website that, of course, promotes vegan eating. Yes. So say hello to unconventionalbaker.com. Now, this website features a very interesting vegan tangerine recipe, which happens to be called spiced tangerine cake. Now, take a look at the pictures. Looks delicious, yes? Now, if you are inclined, please click on the description box, and guess what? I'm providing you with a direct link to this recipe. Now, after you click on the link, you're going to find some amazing information. It's going to give you the ingredient list, the cooking time, and of course, the instructions as to how to make the spiced tangerine cake. So, do me a favor. Make it, taste it, come back to the video, and share your thoughts. So there we have it, guys. One amazing vegan tangerine recipe from unconventionalbaker.com. All right, 23% Nation, I hear you. A lot of you say, well, Coach D, thanks for the fun facts. Coach D, thanks for the nutrition facts. But what I really want to know is, when should I eat more tangerines? Well, guys, if that's your question, then the perfect day, and I do mean the perfect day to eat more tangerines, is Nature Day. What? Nature Day? Oh, yes, good old Nature Day. Guys, Nature Day happens to be the first day of the 23% challenge. Now, maybe you've been living under a rock and you know absolutely nothing about the challenge. Well, in a nutshell, the 23% challenge is a monthly 7-day wellness program that is designed to help improve your health, your wealth, your relationships, and save good old planet Earth. Now, as I mentioned, the challenge is monthly and it's only 7 days. As a matter of fact, it's the first 7 days of the month, the first all the way through the 7th. That's it. Now, here's the interesting part. Being that Nature Day is the first day of the challenge, that means the first day of every month is Nature Day, right? So whether it's February 1st, March 1st, or even April 1st, it's always Nature Day. Now, let's dive just a little deeper in Nature Day. Some of us may be stricken with the big four, meaning obesity, cancer, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. Some of us may have skin problems. Some of us may have mental issues. Some of us may have some digestive issues, right? Or maybe you're just the type of person who simply wants to transition to a more whole food plant-based diet. Or you just may be the type of person who just wants to eat more plants. Well, whatever the case may be, I want to offer you 4 avenues that I think can help make that transition a little easier. So I want to introduce you to a 3% vegan, a 10% vegan, a 17% vegan, and the ultimate 23% vegan. Ladies and gentlemen, a 3% vegan is anyone, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 1 day out of an entire month. Next up is a 10% vegan. That's a person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 3 days out of an entire month. Next up is a 17% vegan. Now, this is any person, man, woman, or child, who only eats plant foods and drinks only water only 5 days out of an entire month. And lastly is a 23% vegan. Now, technically, that's what Coach D considers himself to be. So what does that mean? It means that I only eat from the 5 food groups of plant foods, which happen to be fruits, vegetables and herbs, legumes, meaning beans and peas, nuts and seeds, and we cannot forget about whole grains. So that's what I eat for the first 7 days of every month, and then the beverage that I consume is only water. So there we have it, guys. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different types of vegans that can help make your nature day successful. All right, now it's time for Coach D's tips. Now, guys, I'm here to offer advice. I'm here to offer help. I'm here to offer assistance. Why? Because I want your nature day to be successful. So, tip number 1, go visit your local grocery store. Now, when you get there, you're going to go to 2 places. Number 1 is the produce section. Number 2 is the freezer aisle. The produce section is the place to be to find fresh plant foods. The frozen aisle is the place to be to find frozen plant foods. Now, some of us may have the question, what's better, fresh or frozen? Well, believe it or not, the nutrient content of both are pretty much the same. Next, go to the prepared dishes section of your grocery store. So once you're done with the produce section and once you're done with the freezer aisle, walk on over to the prepared dishes section. Now, when you get there, talk to the person behind the counter and ask them if they have any vegan, not vegetarian options. It's important. Ask for a quick sample, and if you like it, purchase it by the pound or maybe even 2 pounds if you really like it. Tip number 3, go visit your local farmer's market. Now, I do suggest this, especially for those of us who must have organic produce. Now, here's the cool thing about farmers markets is that not only do they cater to local farmers, but they also cater to the organic produce market. So once again, if you're looking for the best organic produce, then farmers markets are definitely the place to shop. Tip number 4, go visit a vegan restaurant. That's right, it's time for us to support the vegan community. Now, vegan restaurants do a really good job at serving vegan food. Why? Because they hire vegan chefs who not only know how to cook plant foods, but they also know which plant foods to cook together to produce the most delicious, nutritious dishes. My last tip is to get a subscription to a vegan meal prep company. Now, these companies are amazing for people who don't want to cook plant foods, for people who don't know how to cook plant foods, for people who don't have time to cook plant foods, right? Here's the thing. They make it, they deliver it, and guess what? You eat it. It's just that simple. So there we have it, guys. 5 tips to help make your nature day successful. It's time for our question of the day, and this one comes from yours truly and the rest of the 23% nation, and it happens to be a fill-in-the-blank question. So here we go. The tangerine tree was first grown and cultivated in the state of, well, fill in the blank. Now, I believe I covered that information earlier in the video, so if you didn't quite catch it, just simply hit rewind. And, of course, put your answer in the comment box below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. I definitely want to thank you for listening. As always, let's eat well, feel well, think well, do well, be well. This is your man, Coach D. Now, before I sign out, I got to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share the video, especially if you love tangerines. And don't forget to use our 3-word mantra. It's hashtag #EatMorePlants. As stated earlier, my name is Coach D. I'm signing out. But, as always, take care, God bless, and never, ever forget that Coach D loves you.